Okay, quick, just little side note. I'm going to be outside for this installment, so you will hear maybe the voices of nature. Because I have to be outside for this. This is just a quick note that the audio is gonna be worse than what it normally is.
Big boobs. What? Child. Anyway, so
I'm being so for real. Yu-Gi-Oh is actually top tier. The card game parts, the community, I think the anime as well, I'll throw it in there. And the manga. It's top tier. Though I know like everyone has their favorite anime and stuff, but honestly, nothing beats the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, right? Which I know like the whole anime, when it got brought to Western audiences, it was to sell the card game. And honestly, I think it did pretty well because like I got invested. I invested a lot of money, still do into Yu-Gi-Oh! But it wasn't actually until like a couple like years ago. I don't know where the hell that was supposed to go grammatically, but it was like a couple years ago that I actually got into it because I was actually introduced into it like a long time ago by my uncles because they were into Yu-Gi-Oh, had the cards. I think my first actual like bundle of cards was from my uncle. They were just throwaways that he didn't want, and I still have them. But it wasn't until like a couple years after that I actually revisited the show because like I don't know, I think I was just doing something and then I just watched the first season on Netflix. And then I was like, oh, this show really ends really odd because it's like, it's a weird ending. Yeah, it's because there was 4 other seasons that I was missing, so go figure, right? But honestly, like, the OG Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just really good. Like, I probably will talk about all the others. There's so much to talk about within the show, But, it's really difficult because I think excluding the last 2 animes, because I genuinely don't know about those, like Arc V and no, that is not the name. Oh my god, it's that last one that people are saying is actually pretty good, but I have not gotten to it like at all. And Rush Duel, which Lord have mercy just reminds me of like a worse version of Beyblade. I don't know how to describe it, but basically like that. Ooh, se me fue el avión. I don't remember what I was saying. Okay, so I like legit forgot the point that I was making because it has like literally nothing to do with what I wrote down. So I'm gonna just continue from somewhere. Anyway, yeah, so Yu-Gi-Oh's great. I think plot-wise though, it's very strange. Nothing really beats the original strangeness of Duel Monsters, and like, if you haven't seen Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm gonna give you a really quick rundown. Now this will be spoilers because I'm gonna be making random comments like for the rest of the video, just on things that are like little tidbits that are pretty funny. But basically, you have this kid named Yugi, right? He's the one with the spiky porcupine like hair, like actual porcupine like hair, and he is also really short, and I think that that's something really important. Anyway. So he's really short, one of them short kings, right? And his grandpa, he owns a card shop. So by association, he learns to play the game Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, the anime is different to the manga, and like this is one of the differences. Not that he owns the card shop. Also, actually, random thing I just remembered, the grandpa is a really big perv in the manga, which I think is, now that I'm noticing, it's really weird that that's such a normal thing, but like, yeah, the grandpa's an insanely pervy person. Like, I swear to God, I remember that there's a part, it's literally what, I think is it the first or second duel when they visit the card shop? So he has his friend Taya, right? I told you, I'm gonna go into random, like, rants and stuff. But like, he goes with Taya to the card shop, right? This is in the manga only, never happens in the anime, right? But in the manga, he, like, will go to the card shop with Taya. And, like, the grandpa says hi. And he, like, looks at Taya. And he's like, oh, so, like, you went up a bra size. How fantastic. And it's like really odd. Like, I'll find the panel because oh my gosh. I don't like Gramps in the manga. And you know what? I'm really happy they changed him because Gramps in the anime is he's just Gramps. We love Gramps, okay? He's literally just a grandpa. Like, he's so sweet. It's amazing. He nearly gets killed the first episode, but that's something different. Anyway, so basically, Yugi himself, right? He's really good at this game, Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Now, of course, he has a lot more to learn, but he's actually pretty good, he's decently pretty good, right? And he's in high school with all of his other friends. He gets bullied by these two. They have a change of heart, and I'm gonna be honest, one is definitely better than the other, which I will talk about, because I love this man, like, he's great. And basically, he has this other friend, Taya, which, like, in the manga, it's heavily shipped. In the anime, it later gets heavily shipped. It's, like, implied that they kind of have a thing. I know she has... Okay, this is something different. We'll get to that down the line. Anyway, on top of that, one of the biggest things with Yugi and Gramps is Gramps actually was, I believe, like, actual terms, like, an archaeologist. Like, he, went to, like, tombs in, like, ancient Egypt and, like, with one of his old best friends, which you get introduced to later, would find, like, different artifacts, and he found the Millennium Puzzle, and I believe so he somehow was able to take it with him and give it to his grandson, even though it is a well-known legend that, like, I believe it's well-known that, like, the puzzle, and I mean well-known as in, like, he would have been educated to know this, right? That the puzzle has an evil spirit trapped inside, thus meaning if you solve the puzzle, you're releasing the evil spirit. And I get it. Not everybody believes in that type of stuff, but you're telling me you like, legally you can do that? Like, just even give the art, like, does that not just get handed over to, like literally a museum? Like, I thought that's how that worked. Like, I genuinely don't think you can actually do that, which is so crazy to me. Like, he wasn't, like, he doesn't, like, he owns a card shop. He was never, like, a lead director. He was, like, one of the research, like, I don't understand. Anyway, Yugi gets his hands on this thing, like the little loser nerd he is. He figures it out. He puts the pieces together. One episode, revealed, I think. No, actually, they do talk about it. They reminisce it, right? But Joey and Yugi end up becoming, like, best friends, right? Like, even more best friends than Tristan and Joey, which is something I'm going to talk about in, like, literally just a second. But Joey actually would, like, bully Yugi, and, like, the reasoning is really funny because they're like, oh yeah, like, okay, I don't know, I don't remember if this is the reasoning in the manga, but in the anime, I remember they, like, reminisce, like, oh yeah, you remember when I used to bully you? Like, I threw the Millennium Puzzle piece, like, the eye part, the piece you were missing. Really funny, right? Like, a very 1 in a million, no, not even 1 in a million, a unique, the only Millennium item. By the way, there's multiple, but this is, like, they're all unique. There's not more than one. The only one, I threw it out of a window into a lake. I don't even think it was a lake. Whatever, water. It was water. And I did that. That was me. Like, you remember that? Ain't that crazy? That was kind of bonkers, man. And then they become best friends because Yugi, like, stands up for them. Which, again, this is why I like to go to the manga, because it actually gives more background, because the anime doesn't go into this, because I think a lot of the darker themes, besides all the murder, right, the darker themes of Yu-Gi-Oh! Are really in the very beginning, like, how they actually became friends, how Yugi, not gets the puzzle, but up until him solving the puzzle, and even, like, the certain plot points that happen between that, and I think mainly between him and Joey becoming friends, there are just darker themes, and also the very beginning, too, because, like, there's, like, stuff that gets revealed in the manga that they never really talk about in the anime, which I understand, because it's, like, pretty, like, it's actually serious things. Like, it's, like, abuse and, like, neglect and, like, well, murder, you know? But, I do kind of miss that part because, like, it's really good. Like, it makes things more dynamic, and I think that's actually what the show missed. But anyway, right? So eventually they become best friends because Yugi stands up for him. He's like, oh my god, you know, this friendship thing actually doesn't feel so bad, so, like, I'm gonna give it a shot. And he's basically godlike at it. And, yeah, they become friends. They all become a little friend group. It's really cute. And then Yugi finds out that there was an evil spirit trapped in the freaking pyramid. So he puts it together, and then he finds out that there's, like, a freaking spirit in the thing, and this is how we get Yami Yugi, which is basically Yugi when he actually goes through puberty. Because he gets tall, he gets a much deeper voice, and he's actually really cool. And he becomes better at the game because
Yeah, boy.
Secret gets revealed later, which, like, if you haven't seen Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm gonna be so for real, like, it's so rewarding in the end. Like, it's so rewarding when you find out. I just don't feel like talking about it just in case if anybody hasn't seen it. Because, like, basically every single person I've talked to has never seen Yu-Gi-Oh in their life. So, I'm just gonna go on assuming that. Anyway, I think it's really cool though. Like, it's so rewarding in the end. It's such a cute scene at the end of the show. But anyway, so basically the adventures are just following them, kind of like just playing the game. And later on really trying to figure out, like, I think the last 2 seasons are really about trying to figure out who is Yami Yugi, because they don't know. Because up to a point, I don't think Yugi actually knows there's somebody else inside of him. Pause, okay?
Pause! What is that?
I don't think he realizes that, right? Because I think he doesn't actually know. I think he just kind of passes out and he's like, hey, yo, what just happened, right? And then everybody else around him, I love it. It's so funny. He, like, goes through puberty and nobody else around him is like, hey, yo, Yugi kind of looking funny. Like, not even in a like, what's up with this? I don't understand. Who is that? He grew, like, 5 feet. Someone, please. He went down, like, 40 octaves. Anybody gonna explain this? Like, Teia's just randomly attracted to him now? Like, is she not weirded out by, like, sometimes she's attracted to Yugi and then sometimes she's not? Because I swear to God, she's only attracted to Yami Yugi. She friend zones the heck out of Yugi, right? But it's only when Yami Yugi is present that she's like, hey yo Yugi, bro. Looking kind of fine. Like, it's really weird. And, like, I find it so funny. Like, it's actually really funny how long it is until everybody realizes, oh, it's because, like, that isn't Yugi. Oh, that's not Yugi. You know, that's making a lot, like, hello? He literally went from, like, being, I think, isn't he, like, 5'2"? I don't remember how tall he is, but he's, like, really short. Like, he's around my height, right? And I mean this for, like, a guy. I don't know why I got so nervous about, okay, forget that. But he's short, like, compared to everybody. It's like, they make it very clear to make sure you know he is an absolute, like, he's really small, right? But, like, then he grows to be taller than, like, Joey, who is, I believe he's almost, like, 6 foot. And, like, nobody bats an eye, you know, society. Like, it's real. I don't know. I love you. It's so bad. Like, I don't understand. Anyway, wow. It's really great. I think the last thing I want to talk about, because, like, you know, for time, I don't want to go too long. I'm telling you, I could yap about this show literally forever. There's just so much to actually really talk about, like, plot bits, design details, like the monster stuff, the fact of, I know, like, probably anybody watching Yu-Gi-Oh, you know, who has seen literally anything on it, right, is really wondering why I haven't talked about Kaiba. Okay, the reason why, for context, right, Kaiba is basically the antagonist, pretty much for the entire show, right? and he's like this really rich kid, basically self-built. He's an amazing brother, but he's an absolute, like, I don't know how to describe him without kind of like using certain language, but like he's not the friendliest. Like he's really, yeah. Even with his own brother, he's kind of, yeah, sometimes. But to be fair, you find out his backstory and you kind of figure it out, right? But basically, he's not, like, a great person. Like, he's, like, an actual, like, actually, that puts it best. He's just genuinely not a good person, but he's a good character, is what I'll say. Who never goes through actual character development. I want to make that very clear. That is something that these, like, I think literally Yugi and maybe Taya and maybe Joey, depending on how you want to form it, like, I'm gonna be so for real, they kind of stay the same the whole time, according to the anime, okay? Manga's very different. The manga, they actually change a lot. Like, oh my god, Joey's so much cooler in the manga. But anyway, yeah, reason I haven't talked about Kaiba is because I actually want to do a whole different video just on him, because, like, there's a lot to talk about with him. But anyway, I actually want to talk about Capsule Monsters, because Capsule Monsters, the filler, like, in the anime, is something a lot of people in the fandom really hated, right? Which, like, I kind of don't agree with, because, like, I think Capsule Monsters was actually, I think plot-wise, it was kind of stupid, like, the way it happened, and how they got sucked into, like, it gave Digimon, but it wasn't giving Digimon, right? But I think it actually, for once in the show, really showed the characters as to, like, who they originally were supposed to be. Because, like, keep in mind, the entire show, Joey and Tristan are supposed to be best friends. Like, they're supposed to be they're supposed to be best friends. But, like, there are very few times in the show you actually get that vibe from them, which is really annoying, because, like, as especially guy best friends, you expect them to be stupid all the time, like, with each other, but they're not. Like, genuinely, it just kind of looks like literally Yugi and Joey are like this brotherly type of friendship, and then Tristan's there, and then, like, Tristan will just get annoyed with Joey. Like, that's about the scope of their friendship, right? And, like, it's kind of annoying, because it actually looks more like Tristan and Taya are better friends, but they're not. Like, they're really not. And it's, like, it's really annoying, because then you have Capsule Monsters, and Capsule Monsters actually, like, adds to the friendship. Like, they actually act dumb with each other. They actually, like, are goofy. There's, like, I think they make a song, and it's so funny. Like, I think they actually act like the people they were meant to act. Tristan actually does something for once. Like, he's actually not, like, terrible, you know? Like, he, I forgot, but, like, he actually, like, because they don't really duel that much. Tristan and Teo don't really duel. Joey and, Yugi, they're the ones that really duel. But, like, the other two don't. And this is the time where, like, because it's, like, a Pokemon rendition, like, they all have to. So, like, Taya actually wins a fight, you know, and then Tristan does, and he does, like, some really cool stuff. Like, it's the actual episode that, like, the actual characters, the supporting ones, are actually really good, you know, because Taya's always the supporter, because, like, yeah, she's shipped with Yugi, so no doubt, but, like, Tristan, I'm being so for real, sometimes you might as well just take him out of, like, the show, because, like, literally, it's, like, I think, yeah, there's a purpose to his character, but in the anime, he runs very stale, and that's why I think genuinely Capsule Monsters wasn't that bad. Like, I think it added to the characters. I mean, then it goes away, because they never do that stuff again, especially because it's the end of the show, so I understand that, you know, but it's like, I genuinely think that they kind of, like, Joey and Tristan needed a little more of the best friend thing, because I feel like it was used for, like, jokes a lot of the time. But, like, I don't know, like, it wasn't really giving best friends, you know? I don't know. I feel like it was missing that. Added tidbit, Tristan has a crush on Joey's younger sister, who I believe is, like, 13, and they are like 16, 17 around the time when this is like happening. I will confirm those ages, but like I didn't like that whole part where he's like keeps crushing on Joey's younger sister. It's really weird, especially like it's really odd, especially since he's like put in a room with her by herself after a search. It's nothing happens, and I'm not saying they try and imply anything nefarious, but like I don't like it. So yeah, it's not great. But anyways, so that's my yap session on Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. I definitely will do like an actual longer one, like really going into the plot stuff. It's just, again, there's so much to actually address in the show, and like a lot of comments I've had because I've seen the show multiple times, right? But this is just kind of like tidbits that kind of came up to my mind while I was doing this. Yeah, and here's the drawing. Did a Red Eyes Black Dragon based on like the original card art and the art that actually appears in the anime. So it's really fun to do. I did a black black Red Eyes Metal Dragon. I'll put up the name in a second. I did that one. If I could find a photo of that one, I would put it in. But yeah, I actually really like how it came out. It was pretty fun to do. Hatching is always fun. Love it. These ballpoint pens are actually to die for. Inking looks so great. Yeah, so that's the yap session. That's the yap session. That's the yap session. And this is the drawing. So, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.
It's time to do